Yeah, we grew up north of Boston, in a little city called
a little town called Lynn, Massachusetts.
Lynn City of Sin. Everybody knows it because the little jingle. So yeah, that's where we grew up. I've been here since 2007. It's been
September of 2012, last
months.
year. Yes.
But it's a great city.
It's good. It's good. Very nice people.
Super nice. I joined the Navy in 1995 and went to boot camp. Got my butt kicked there in the middle of winter. And then went through a couple of training programs there. And after a few years, the Navy actually eventually sent me back to college on a scholarship, and went back to Boston. Studied at Boston University, got my degree, and then went back on active duty as an officer and doing surface warfare. So I was driving ships and running operations from the operations center in an aircraft carrier, the Abraham Lincoln. We deployed to the Western Pacific a number of times. While I was in the Navy, I got my first couple of trips to Japan, which was intriguing, and I'm really excited to be going back there this year in a different business. I'm going to go there, scope out some knives, meet some bladesmiths. I was working working up to the Iraq War in 2003, and then we spent some time off the coast of Korea through 2005, making sure stuff stayed normal there, and it was a good time. Got great memories of the service. It was a wonderful experience. I had took advantage of a lot of responsibility. They worked with some amazing people, some really amazing Americans who are real leaders in this country, and that was a real privilege. The experience was great. I'd recommend it for anyone who's kind of didn't have or looking for some direction or whatever. I didn't have much back then, and I wasn't sure where I was going. I got to see a lot of cool places and meet a lot of great people, and did some important work. This market's great because one, it attracts people who are interested in food and cooking, and so I think they kind of get why this shop works here. I mean, to me, it goes hand in hand with what this market, what the vendors here are trying to promote, which is a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, and the ingredients and the process to make and eat great food. Well, it's, to me, having the tools of the trade in good shape and perfect working order and optimum sharpness is really just as important as using the freshest ingredients for your meal. It makes a huge difference. The week before this market opened, I looked into starting the business. It was only going to be a side gig. We were going to do by appointment only type things, make it convenient for people. We'll come by and sharpen your knives right in your kitchen. The week after, I started really planning it. This Union Market opened. I live right up the street, so we were here the opening weekend. My wife and son and I came down to check out the market. And I was talking to Craig, the Lamb guy, about his point of sale system. We use the Square credit card reader, and he asked me, he's like, "Oh, you got a business?" I was like, "Well, I'm starting this knife sharpening gig." And he's like, "Oh, you should go talk to Richie Brandenburg is, former chef, worked for Jose Andres Minibar, and he's, now works at the development company who owns this place, and was in charge of getting all the vendors in. And I went over, introduced myself to him, and told him I was, starting a knife sharpening business. And he's like, "Oh, that's awesome." It's like, "They'll probably work real well in here. You want to come by next week and do a pop-up?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure, man." So went out and got the equipment. Showed up that following Friday with Matt and 3 stones, and that weekend, I probably spent 40 hours straight sharpening knives from Friday morning to Saturday night, or Sunday night, and I had so many knives to bring home with me that I had to finish. I think I had 75 knives that I needed to sharpen that were due next week. I called this guy up, and he was just, "What are you doing? Just hanging out?" Hanging out.
Watching the Patriots game.
Yeah. Up in Boston, I was like, "What are you doing this week?" I was like, "I'll give you $1,000 to come down here and help me sharpen these knives." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Dude, this weekend was crazy. I had so many knives to sharpen. Like, I'll never get this done." It's like, "Drive down here tomorrow." So we showed up the next evening at 8 o'clock, and he comes down to my basement where I emptied my wine rack out, and I just filled it with all these knives that I got. And he takes one look. He's like, "Wow, you weren't kidding. There's a lot of knives to sharpen." And we just got busy, and somehow we finished all those knives by Friday. And then he never left. He's been here ever since. We've just been working this place every weekend, and they've opened up full time now, 5 days a week. And it's just been, we're really happy with the response. There's a lot of dull knives in this town, and nobody would sharpen them before we came along.
That was a long first week.
Yeah.
That was dawn till dusk, till, I don't know, definitely 14, 15-hour days straight.
I had one guy, this is early on, and this guy came in with a really expensive knife that had just been trashed. I mean, it was really dinged up, and I fixed it for him, and this guy was kind of scared of this guy. He gave me the kind of creeps in the beginning. He didn't say much, he just kind of gave it to me, and fixed it. The thing was looking good as new. I was pretty happy with it, and he came back and pulled it out of the box. He looked at it, and his face just lit up, and he gave me this huge high five. He's like, "Yeah!" I mean, I'm just like, wow, this guy really happy about this knife being fixed. It was just something he really liked to use, and he couldn't use it anymore, and they fixed it for him. So it's pretty gratifying. Again, it's like a simple thing, like, all right, we're gonna make your knife sharp, but
Fixing knives, actually, people bring in their knives that are chipped or damaged. There's certain brands that don't hold up very well, and they come in all disheveled, feeling it's hopeless, and give us an hour, and we give it back, and it's good as new. I mean, that's something, and they pretty much would have gone out and bought a brand new knife of that same caliber, but instead we fixed it for like a quarter of the price.
yeah.
That's a good deal. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's been like a learning curve, you know what I mean? I've never run a knife shop before, so you just kind of roll with it. It's just take care of the customers, and just, our product is, put out some pretty sharp knives, in my opinion, no one really does it like this, and someone come along and show me a better way to do it. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a sharper knife, but I don't think so. And I think that has a big thing with kind of our name getting out there, is that so many people are coming back. Like I said, there's repeat customers. That's a good thing about the market. Repeat customers, and you develop relationships, with people, as you can see, Bob, yourself, and. But so many people come by like, hey man, you sharpen my knives, and they're the best they've ever been, like, customer for life, and that means something, It's good to be kind of getting that name out in the community and helping out,
Yeah.
You actually improve people's lives. It seems silly, but I mean, you eat three meals a day, probably 2 of them at home, and having the right tool and making it easy for you, it actually makes it enjoyable, Here, I don't know, like just being your own boss and being able to do what you want and kind of just, like I said, providing a good service and the interactions and putting smiles on people's faces, you know what I mean? It's it's gonna glide. Like your edge on a wheel, it's gonna be pretty sharp, but it's not gonna have that effortless motion of it. I mean, we'll take it up 3 stones, leather strop, and I mean it's mirror finish,
Yeah, I think it's I'd like to. They'll see the difference, if they've been taking their knife to the hardware store and having the hardware stores running through the grinder for however many years. I mean, folks who come in with good quality knives probably won't even. They've never even taken their knives to get sharpened at a hardware store, so you just wouldn't do it. That they're gonna those electric sharpeners will good chance of ruining a blade. So it's like for a lot of people, especially people who use the Japanese style knives, we're the only game in town for those knives. You don't sharpen those on anything but water stones. So you're either gonna do it yourself at home, or you can save yourself some time and bring them to us.